Thank goodness it's a little cooler in here than it was in the, I thought it was me in that lab. Okay, I want to, first of all, thank you again for signing up for what I want to thank you again for signing up for what I feel will be just a wonderful thing here from Ascension. And some of our pen pals are also from outside of the church. So thank you so much for participating. I think it'll be great for the children. Ms. Tavares had a family issue, so she could not join us today. But we have two experts. Ms. Amante Gallagher, who is an instructional specialist, and Ms. Christy Barrett, who is a campus reading teacher. They will share this with you. They'll have these handouts, they'll go through this, and they'll explain what this is. I also want to thank Mary Powell, who will be working with me to make sure that this program runs as smoothly as possible. If you have any questions at any time while the ladies are speaking, feel free to ask. If you have any questions after that come to you, give me a call, send me an email. We want this to roll out really, really great. 70 plus signed up. There are a lot of people who are out of town. That will be addressed. If you know someone who signed up to be a pen pal and is not here today, let them know that on Monday, October 10th, there'll be a makeup session in the church's conference hall. I also want to thank Suzanne Bruce. She came to me maybe a month ago and said, Carrie and I are in a book study and the other mothers and daughters want to join. Is that okay? And we said, oh yeah. Oh. So we have 12 minutes, so that's okay, without further ado, Monty and Kristen, take it.
All right. Well, first of all, we thank you all so much from Stults Elementary School just for your volunteering and able to help us with this particular effort. Fourth grade writing is something that our particular students struggle with. A lot of kids struggle with it, but our particular babies, they struggle, right? Because we have a tendency to talk a certain way, and the way we write is how we talk. And so what we're trying to get them to do is try to have them write more academically, and with the help of you all, we will definitely achieve that task. What I'm going to do is, because this is Christy's baby. She is the campus reading specialist on our campus. I'm just an instructional coach. I kind of do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I'm going to turn it over to her, but once again, I just want to thank you again for taking your time out to write to our babies.
True story. It's such a blessing because the biggest thing with our kids is they just don't have the experiences that a lot of kids get. And so when they have to come up with something and write a whole paper about it, it's hard because they don't have that experience with writing or with a lot of the real world things that some of us have the privilege to do. They just don't have that. So it's really a great opportunity for them to learn and grow and have a real world experience talking back and forth with you guys through writing letters. This is just an overview. At the top, it tells you just kind of what the purpose of this is, to provide an avenue to create better writers through an authentic audience, that being you guys, and then just how grateful we are for you being willing to provide this opportunity for our kids. I have provided all of the dates. You don't really have to worry about the student letter dates, just know that around that time when that due date comes for them, that you'll be receiving your letters soon, and so you'll want to be checking for those letters, okay? And then your dates are the dates that you're going to have them. You're going to actually have a correspondence box that will be picked up. You'll pick up your letters and you'll deliver them to that area in the parlor, okay? These are all those letter dates. So you know around October 11th, there should be a letter in the box for you. And then around October 25th, you should put a letter back in. Okay, and we'll take care of all the logistics of how they're going to get to the kids, so you don't have to worry about that. We do want you to make sure that you address them, because to make it authentic, we would like to provide them that opportunity to have to actually write your name and write, all the information on there, and then receive it, so it feels like a real letter. You don't have to stamp it. We don't want you to pay the money for the stamps. If you want to draw one on there, I guess you could, but we don't need to purchase them and put them on there, because they're going to get it and they're still going to get the feeling of a real letter being delivered to them, which who doesn't like to get a letter? So,
Christy,
yes.
While you're on that topic, would you prefer that the envelopes remain unsealed in case you want to review before they go?
That's a great question. Yes, if you would leave them unsealed, just because we would like to just take a look at some of them and you know, and have those conversations about what we're doing with the program. So that would be awesome. Thank you.
And should the return address be the church's return address or ours, or do you care?
The church.
Okay, I'm sorry, I missed that.
Yeah, although we would love in any situation for them to be an ongoing thing, because it's a school and because of all of the rules and laws of safety and stuff, we have to keep it very basic. So it'll be for the church's address and it'll be the school's address. Okay, your deadline reminders will be communicated at Ascension, Sunday bulletins, and you have your fridge magnets. Everybody should have one, and we went ahead and put your student's name on there so you have all that information right up in one place. Your teacher is on there. We ask that you make sure that's on there because when we get 80 letters, it's a lot easier if we can just sort them by teacher because it's already on the front.
Would you like Miss or Mr. or?
Yeah, I'm ready for it.
Is this the last name?
Mrs. Yeah, they're both female, so just Mrs. will be good. Yes, thank you. And then, let's see, we talked about that part. Okay, we are going to have a meet and greet because we want to wrap this up at the end with an opportunity for them to finally meet you guys because you're kind of like a superhero mystery. And so they're going to be really excited to be like, who's my pen pal? So we're going to have an opportunity on May 22nd at 1:45 p.m. More details will come when we get closer because that's a long ways away. But we'd like to invite you to Stults Road to come in and meet. If you cannot, we do have a backup plan. So what we'll do is if for some reason you can't make that date, we will have you have your final letter and we'll put a picture with it so they get a picture and they can see what you look like. Okay? And we can talk more about that when we get closer. Yes?
I'm sorry, I can't see where it says. Do we have to handwrite these letters, or can we type them?
I'm getting ready to cover that, but yes, we will. One second, I'm going to get to that right here. So if you look at these do's and don'ts, these are just basic outlines of it, and that's a great question because even if you love to handwrite, if your handwriting is a little bit like cursive or a little slanty, it's going to be hard for them to read because they're fourth graders. And because of our school and the population, they also struggle with reading as well. So we want to make sure it's very clear for them to be able to read. So print or type, your choice, either one. So if it's easier for you to type it, that's great. But we just want to make sure that it's clear where they can easily read it. We do want you to respond to student questions. If they ask something in there and want to know something, you know, like, do you like to go on holiday trips? We would love for you to start your next letter and say, I do love to go on holiday trips. I also like, and then start talking about the next week. Each week has a different topic. So you have, or each month, sorry. October's is general introduction. And then in November, December, explaining holiday traditions. January and February is explaining their favorite game or favorite activity. March, we're talking about, they're going to explain their test-taking strategies to you, and you're going to respond by being like, you rock, you're awesome, you're going to do wonderful on the test, you're amazing, whatever you can put in there that's going to boost them up. Because we also, our kids come from backgrounds where they just, that confidence isn't there. So anything you can add for positive encouragement in that letter. And then the final one will be summer plans. So they'll tell you what they're planning on doing, and then you'll respond back. So we do want you to respond to their questions. Do ask students questions about their writing and the topic. The main idea of this is not to look at every capital letter and every word they spelled wrong. Is that the purpose of this is to get them engaged in writing and to open them up to realizing that they have more to say and they can put it on paper. So you might notice some errors and you might have cringe when you see that it's spelled wrong. But that is something they're still learning, and the thing we really want is that if they write, oh, I like, what's the name, soccer. It's so much fun. I like to play it outside. Okay? So what we want you guys to do is step in and be like, tell me about soccer. Yeah. I'd love in your next letter when you tell me about, what's coming up after that, well, strategies, but if say they told you about holidays and it was very bland, then you could say, when you write to me about games, I would love to hear more details about that game. What did you do? What did it look like? How did you feel when this happened? So kind of opening those ideas to them so that when they respond back,
of the things when Mary Lou and I met with Ishi and Christy and a few other folks, a lot of these children are either told to be quiet when they get home, how's your day, fine, that's it. So you will be someone who is a responsible adult who can really elicit input from them as to what's going on in their lives. We don't want to pry, but we want them to know that they have a friend in this pen pal. So getting more information and sharing minimal about yourself is very, very important, because you may be the only person, and I don't want to say that, may be overstating it somewhere, but one of the few people who really show an interest in what they're doing and in what they have to say. So that's one of the key things that we want to bring forth in this program.
Also, to piggyback off of that, when you are also writing, because we want our kids to give details and examples. So you could they talk about ice cream, and you say, oh, I like ice cream from Baskin Robbins. You said Baskin Robbins, blah, right? It kind of gives them more information to say, hey, my pen pal said they like this because of this. And they gave details and examples. So they can then reiterate. More than likely, they're probably going to start liking the same things you like. They're going to start mimicking what you like. They're going to start liking. And the format in which you write, they're going to start copying that same format. It's true.
Because that's how our kids learn.
They copy.
They copy. So they will, and that's why it's so important to kind of put out there and add those extra details, because that's one of the biggest issues in our writing as far as performance is details. They write this much, and it's supposed to be 4 paragraphs, and it's supposed to be all this detail about each topic, and they really struggle with that. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I still don't understand one thing about address, and it has nothing to do with the address on the letter, but how do we address the student? Do we say, dear first name?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that's important.
Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Yes.
And then you can just sign your first name. You don't have to put your last name, whatever you like to do.
Okay, if you do want to do this, yeah. I don't like kids calling me by my first name.
Then you can.
That's old school. Can you say
Yes.
Mrs. Gaston?
Yes. And they probably will write their letters that way. I think we had a conversation with the teachers,
Yeah.
and they said they've been saying Mr. or Mrs.
Yeah. So first item, yes. There's a question. Yes, ma'am.
You said they're fourth graders?
Yes, fourth graders.
So an idea.
Fourth graders.
But some of their writing might
Be like a second or third.
second or third, or maybe it's not detailed enough.
Because writing's the last thing to come.
Yeah.
I mean, they get, when you're learning in education, you usually get, that reading before you get that writing. The reading is what puts into that writing. So for us, we have struggling readers, which means we have even more struggling writers. So they are fourth graders, so the standard of things they should be doing is that they should have complete sentences, they should be able to put details out and have, give examples of it. Sometimes that won't happen, and that's why we're encouraging you to say, I'd love to hear more about this, give me details.
But it is okay if you constantly see like I is not capitalized. Hi John, remember I is always capitalized. If you focus on one thing till they get it right, that is okay. We just don't want you to focus on the capitalization, then the period, and the adverbs, all that's too much now. But if you focus on one thing until they get it right in their letters, that is okay. That's capitalization you see. If you think that's important, if you want to capitalize, hey John, don't forget. First letter in the sentence needs to be capitalized. Don't forget. The first letter in the sentence needs to be capitalized. That is okay. It's just that when you think multiple things like that, they're like, I can't do nothing right. I can't capitalize, can't write the letter. I don't want to write anymore.
You tell me. If you want to take a picture of the letter and send it to me with the email and say, what's the best way to respond? Or I feel like I want to say this, but I'm not sure how to help with this. Contact me. I'm more than happy if you want to call me on the phone or email or whatever, and I will respond and let you and give you any advice you can. Yes.
Can you give us some guidelines on what a STAR test is? Because when I was in fourth grade, I was in a 3-room schoolhouse in Vermont, and we did not have any of this kind of what I will call politely abomination. Okay? So I need to know what it is that I'm encouraging them to do well at.
So basically they're given two parts. One of them is expository, where they have to write a full paper about a topic.
Yes.
So they give them a paper and or a topic and say, write about a time that, our vacation, and then they are your best favorite memory, and then they have to tell about it, but not a personal narrative, not their own story. They have to tell what kind of things you could do. Okay. The second part is a revising and editing. They get like, I don't remember how many questions.
35?
About 50.
22 questions, and they basically will either give them a short passage and have them tell what needs to be changed, like add a transition or add a conjunction, or it'll tell them, here's a mistake, which one's the right one? Because spelled this way or because spelled this way? So they have to go through and think about how they know it's spelled and then pick which one is right. So that's kind of how it's divided. Yes, ma'am.
Do you have a target length for us? I mean, I wouldn't like for this kid to get a one-page letter and this kid got a 4-page letter, and then they, you know, I mean, do we have a target length?
Less than 100.
Yes, so
Well, some of us,
it doesn't matter.
Done.
This,
No, they only get one page.
they only get one page, so,
And plus you have to think that they're struggling readers too, so we do want to keep that in mind. I'm not saying you can't use higher level words, I encourage you to, but as the longer it gets, the harder it gets, it's gonna defeat the purpose. Right? Okay, all right, let me see if I missed anything else. Do give praise when student shows improvement. I love that you showed, you know, that you added, this time I knew exactly what it felt like when you were playing that soccer game. Do give positive feedback and encourage students to write. Do give them examples. I really enjoyed hearing about your favorite holiday. I'd love for you to go in more detail and write about your game. Don't focus on more than one area at a time just because it might overwhelm them. And we kind of talked about that. Don't share personal information. Don't send pictures. And then do please contact us. You can contact Ms. Tavares if you find something in the letter, which we are pre-reading all the letters, but if you found something that was concerning, because when students make a connection with somebody, they tend to share stuff. It feels like a private, secret place that they can share in detail, and maybe something's going wrong at home. We do encourage you to immediately call Ms. Tavares so that she can see what that student needs and help if there's help needed. Okay, so you just never know what's going to come up because kids, you know, when they make that connection, you're their best friend for life.
they're gonna tell you everything, they family wise. I don't wanna know. But you are now their friend.
Exactly. Forever. I mean, that's what kids are. They just give their heart. So we're really excited that you guys are willing to be a part of this. It really, you don't even understand how much it's going to make a difference for these kids. I mean, some of them do have families that have a good foundation, but most of them do not, and they don't have anybody on the sidelines cheering them. So we really do appreciate that you guys are willing to take time out of your lives to give to our kids. Any other questions?
When you say don't share personal information, I'm assuming you mean things like phone numbers or email addresses, stuff like that. I mean,
Yes.
in the introduction, you'll be talking about your
Yes. So you can give like an overview, like, oh, my name is Mary. I have 3 kids that I live in the area, or, you know, something like that. But we don't want to give out our address or our phone number or things if it feels like it's inappropriate. It probably is, so don't do it. That's not good rule.
Just kind of go over this one more time.
Did everyone receive that, one of those?
Yeah.
Jane Taylor.
So this just has your name on the back so you knew it was yours. But on the front is the same thing. So we have the due dates here, and we have the due dates here for you, so you can stick this up on your fridge or your file cabinet or whatever, so you don't forget. And it has the topic and the letter due by each date that it's due. And then at the bottom it has your pen pal and the class they're in and the address, so you know exactly how to fill out your letter when you're sending it. Well, not sending it, when you're writing it out. And then of course you'll put it in the parlor in the designated location. You'll just drop your letter in there.
Okay, on the day that children are supposed to have their letter, is it gonna be like if you went up and say 9 o'clock in the morning, the letters will be there?
Well, it's going to be the days, so the other mentor program that we have several people from your church that are going to be up at our school, so on their mentor day, they're going to come and grab the letters. So I don't know exactly what date the 11th on, but if it's on like a Monday, and they come on Wednesdays, they'll pick it up on Wednesday and bring it. It's a Tuesday. Okay, on Tuesdays.
You can find out what day. I think the question is, when do we know that the letters are available to pick up?
Yeah.
Will you send an email or?
Yeah. Well, there'll be notices in the bulletin. I'll send out an email, and there'll also be an Ascension. And Mary Lou and I are going to scout out a part that will be totally designated to pen pals, and that'll be in the parlor. But you'll get ample notification, in addition to your magnet, as to when you should be receiving them and when you need to turn them in. I'm sorry. Richard Martin is here, is he? Susan Crumpley.
And as we talk about letters, as Marcia's getting that done, if life throughout the year, things might happen, right? Because this is the whole year-long program. For whatever reason, if you were unable to write a letter because something has come up, maybe you got sick, maybe you had to leave or something, please notify Christy Barrett because I will write the letter on your behalf. Yeah, because what I do is because those children look forward, once that relation is established, they look forward to those letters. And I don't want to see a look on their face when everyone got a letter except for them. So for whatever reason, like I said, things will happen. I promise you. And I'll write the best letter for you, and they won't even know. You just let